All right, dude, we are live. What's up, guys? This is Dem Keys, and today we are mostly going to be doing a yap sesh. Maybe I might get into relearning Git. Git is one of those things that because GitHub exists, I haven't really found the need to go too deep into the advanced stuff. Even back in the day when I looked into Git, I stuck to the basics because that was pretty much all I needed. I never really needed to dive into the more advanced stuff, and so I didn't really go too deep into it. Wait, give me a second. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna be relearning Git. I'm gonna start with the basics, just so I can, refresh my knowledge. Actually, yeah, it's gonna be more refreshing my knowledge because for the past couple of years, I've mainly stuck to using GitHub Desktop, and so I haven't really had to deal with any command line related stuff. And when possible, I pretty much do my GitHub stuff through GitHub itself. So yeah. I recently um, I was about to say that I recently had a thing come up where this thing was required, but it's one of those things where like moving forward, I'm gonna be using Git a lot more. It's gonna be for more than just publishing whatever projects I've been working on. I'm gonna start like actively using it more. In the past, I was using it for like game development projects and stuff. But then, for the past couple of years, I haven't been doing that a whole lot. I mainly stuck to publishing my projects to GitHub. But now that I'm going to be using Git a lot more, I kind of want to familiarize myself with the Git CLI, and or would it be considered the GitHub CLI? No, I think it's Git CLI. Either way, I want to familiarize myself again with the CLI of Git, and probably go into some of the more advanced stuff as well when I get a chance, because I want to I want to try setting up my own Git server where I can have, version control for multiple projects that I'm working on. Now, keeping that aside, dude, I've been busy. The past couple of days, I've been busy. I was worried that I might have missed a good week of streaming, but I think I don't know. It says my last stream was on the 11th, and where I'm at, it's currently the 16th. So close to a week, but like 4 to 5 days, basically 5 days. Uh, yeah, yeah. I didn't mean for that to happen, but just stuff got in the way. I've been busy. I've been working on a couple of things actually. So okay, I've complained in the past multiple times about how badly the Unity editor runs on my machine, on my Windows machine specifically. And it was getting a bit too much. So I was like, okay, you know what? In the past, uh, in the past being years ago, I did try out the Unity editor on Linux, and while it wasn't perfect, it ran great. The speed was great. It still did have its issues, and Unity has they kind of dropped the ball on the UI scaling thing, because it's been years that people have been asking for UI scaling on Linux, and there's still no UI scaling. There's hackish methods to somehow get the UI scale to increase, but like there are pros and cons for those methods. Those methods are not perfect at all, and they would probably, in some cases, they might require you to change some of your settings that could interfere with something else. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted Unity to have a more straightforward solution, and well, they don't have one. On Windows, though, UI scaling is possible. They have it in the preferences, so you can change the UI scale. On Linux, it's just not there. So on one of my machines where I think the resolution was 1920 by 1080, and also the monitor was like kind of it's a little bit away from me, not really far away, but like it's a little bit away from me. Usually I kind of zoom into things. I kind of like increase the text size and zoom into the web page and stuff like that. Or if I'm using some program, then I try to increase the scale of it. And this is where it became a problem with Unity, because Unity was using its own sort of scaling depending on what resolution you're using. And because I had set the resolution high, so the scale was pretty small. So everything looked really small in the editor, and it was kind of hard to use it. But I have another machine where I use a lower resolution, and that monitor is actually closer to me as well. And I tried running Unity on that, and it ran great. Unity ran great along with VS Code. And fortunately, though this is an older machine of mine, this is one of my older systems. It does have about 12 GB of RAM, which is great. So I'm able to use that machine now. I think I've mentioned in the past that I've been testing out Unity on Linux. So this is where it gets interesting. I wanted to stream Unity game development, right? Be it game development or app development, working on my VTuber app, stuff like that. I wanted to be able to stream that to Twitch, but I can't do that from my Windows machine because Unity runs like shit on my Windows machine. Give me a second. Yeah, okay. So because I'm able to run it on Linux, I wanted to run Unity and VS Code on my Linux machine and stream that to my Windows machine, and then stream that to Twitch. So stream it from Linux to Windows and from Windows to Twitch. Another reason I don't want to stream directly from, the first reason why I don't want to stream directly from Linux is because OBS is pretty unstable on Linux, at least for me. Because I've had like random crashes multiple times at this point. So I wouldn't really trust it with maintaining a stable stream. I'm sure if I looked hard enough, I would be able to find the reason for the crashes and maybe even fix whatever the issue is. But I don't want to spend that much time on looking for the solution unless I absolutely have to. Now, I'm not streaming directly from Linux, but I am able to stream from Linux to Windows. I'm not streaming from Linux directly to Twitch, because a lot of my VTubing setup is running on Windows, and I kind of want to keep it that way. I want to carry on streaming from Windows to Twitch, but Unity and VS Code specifically, I want to stream it from Linux to my Windows machine and then stream that from Windows to Twitch. And to do that, I found out that I can use something called RTMP, and so I set up an Nginx RTMP server, which I found out that it's apparently called Nginx, but because I started saying Nginx, I kind of like the sound of Nginx, so I'm gonna carry on saying fucking Nginx. Now, I set up an Nginx RTMP server, and I'm streaming from OBS to that RTMP server, and then any machine on the network can access that RTMP stream using any application that is capable of accessing an RTMP stream. One application is VLC Media Player. Another is, well, OpenCV has that capability as well. So if you're doing a video capture, you can specify the RTMP link, and it'll capture the frames for you. And I'm doing exactly that. So I want to show you guys this. That's one of the things that I've been busy with. That's one of the reasons why I didn't stream for the past couple of days. Because I was way too busy with setting all of this stuff up. Another reason was because I've been busy working on updates for my VTubing app. We finally have these extra settings in here. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me just open up the debug menu. Here it is. So we have the settings here. I've added more of the meters for. So previously I had just for mic RMS. Now we also have for the hang drop RMS and for the smooth drop RMS. And then I also implemented multipliers, which can be changed from outside the application. I also implemented a data storage system. So I have a JSON file that has a bunch of these settings written down in it, and I can change those settings. I can just edit the JSON and then restart the application, and it's going to read those settings. I'm actually going to be using that quite a lot. And for rapid iteration, for being able to, or rather for prototyping, for testing out values, I also implemented events to be able to change the multiplier values and the avatar scale values. So just to show you this thing working, I'm going to change the smooth drop multiplier, the smooth drop mic RMS multiplier, and you'll also notice that the smooth drop meter over here should start responding more. Wait, why is this not responding a lot more? Hold on, give me a second. Check, testing. Okay, for some reason the smooth drop meter is not it's not moving a whole lot. I'm not sure what's going on there. I might need to change something. I might need to check the project again. But I'm gonna increase the multiplier value. Where is it? Here. So it is currently at 0.01. So I'm gonna increase this to, let's say, 0 point or 1 point something. Oh, okay. Yeah, the smooth drop thing is fine. I just needed to increase the multiplier. So now you can see it responding a lot more over here. If I increase this much more, you'll see it's a lot more responsive. Also, you can see the avatar responding much more to it. You can see it. You can see the color being a lot brighter. I also implemented a thing to change the avatar scale multiplier. So this is the multiplier that's applied when scaling the cube using the smooth drop RMS. So if I increase this to, let's say, 100, now you should be able to see the thing responding a lot more. I can also reduce it, and then it's going to respond much less. Like you can see right now, it's barely responding. And if I increase it back here, now you can see there's much more movement going on. So this is great. This was it was necessary for me, or at least I felt like it's necessary for me to implement this because every now and then, mic related settings have to change, and so if everything is hard coded in the code, then it becomes a bit of a hassle to change these settings. And I also wanted to be able to save the changes, which is why I created the data storage system where I can prototype these values during the runtime, and then once I've found the values that I like, I can go into the JSON file and change those values. What else? What else? So there's I still have to edit the release log for this version because I released a new build today. I made some more changes, I think. I don't remember what. Oh yeah, I did some changes to the virtual Stream Deck app. And now, in addition to the buttons, previously it was just the buttons that were functional. Now, even the sliders are functional. And I kind of gave up on the edit mode of it. I'm just going to change the values in the JSON directly because the saved data is just plain text JSON. And at least for me, it's much more simpler. It's much more convenient to just directly edit the JSON. So I'm gonna be doing that instead. I've also been working on open sourcing the virtual Stream Deck app. Today, earlier in the day, I released. Oh yeah, I can actually show that. Hold on. So earlier in the day, I give me a second. So earlier in the day, I created this repo for the DVT app specification. And this contains the specifications for various like protocols and formats and systems and stuff. Just a way of describing them, giving a more technical description. I already had a bunch of this stuff written down in like my own notes file, my own text file, and I just wanted to make a public repo of it. Yeah, I just wanted to make a public repo of it and post it so that um, in case anyone else wants to make something similar, then it can help them. But more importantly, it'll be something that I can kind of always access online. Um, I'll be updating this over time as more and more stuff needs to be added. I'll just keep adding more to it. For the time being, it's mainly describing the protocols that are used by the messaging system. I've also mentioned that there are three main components here. One is of course the main VTubing app, which it used to be called. It's initially it was called DVT Temp app because this was supposed to be. I don't even remember what I was thinking at the time because like I'd built another VTubing app previously, and this was a new project that I had started that was supposed to it was supposed to just be more of a prototyping thing. I would be testing stuff out in this app and then I would implement it in the other app. I think that's what my thought process was. And I called it DVT Temp app because, the temp was basically meant to say that this is a temporary version of the app. I'm either gonna implement a bunch of these things in the old version of the app, or I'm just gonna build a brand new one. And at some point in time, I just forgot about that and I carried on working on this version, and this became the main version. So now the main version is just called DVT Temp app, even though it's not the temporary version anymore. It's the main version. Anyways, that's one of the components, the main VTubing app. And the two other components are the virtual Stream Deck and the Twitch middleware app. both of these things I'm planning on releasing. The middleware app is gonna have to wait because I need to go through all of that code and make sure I didn't accidentally leave um, any important credentials in there, or any kind of information that I wouldn't want being released. I need to make sure I haven't left anything like that in there. And I'm currently working on releasing the virtual Stream Deck app. There's a bunch of polishing that I've done, and there's a bunch of cleanup that I've done. That's also one of the other reasons why I've been looking into the more advanced Git related stuff. Um, the Another reason why I was looking into it was because there's a bunch of projects that I'm working on that I really want to be able to use version control for them, because I feel like using version control is going to be about the same as making constant backups, because the version control, it kind of is the backup. Like it maintains a backup, if that makes sense. I need to look deeper into it to make sure my assumption is correct, but like that's the assumption that I've made based on my understanding of Git and my understanding of version control systems in general. But yeah, yeah. Um yeah, I wanna set up I wanna set up um give me a second. Yeah, I wanna set up my own like private Git server, my own local Git server, and that way I can have like, local copies of this. It'll also be kind of interesting setting up my own local Git server. Um, I don't know if I want to do it the CLI way or the GUI way, because GUI is it's just so much more convenient, dude. But CLI gives you a lot more control over stuff that you're trying to do. I just don't know if I need that level of control for the stuff that I'm doing. Um, I don't know. I'll see. I'll see. If CLI is the only option that I have, then CLI it is. I've seen people suggesting. You know what? Okay, we can ask Llama this question. So I've been using Git through GitHub. I know that Git and GitHub are two different things. I want to set up my own local Git server for how do I word this? My own local Git server for version control of my projects. What are my options? So GitLab is one of the options that I've seen mentioned, and one of the other options that somebody had mentioned was just Git, like literally just Git. There's a way to set up a similar thing through Git alone. And I feel like I don't know enough about using Git only. I know a fair bit about using GitHub, but I don't know enough about using only Git to be able to understand how I would be able to set up um, a Git server through just Git. I'm definitely planning on looking into it. I have the documentation open as well. Dude, they had this nice this was in Git. I don't remember exactly where it was, and I don't want to open the thing right now because the last time that I tried to open it. So wait, where was it? Was it under documentation maybe? Yeah. So there's this visual cheat sheet, and there was another very like incredibly useful learning resource for Git. They had a nice like interactive UI that you could use, and they had this sort of, they would show you a sort of tree. There was a thing, I don't know what the Git there's probably some kind of terminology for it in Git, but it would show you like this line with like commits and like branches and stuff like that, and it was a visual way of learning. I don't know if visual Git cheat sheet is basically what I'm talking about. I'm not sure, but right now I don't want to open it because the last time I opened it, it opened up to something that said account suspended. So I don't know if wherever they tried to host it, it was suspended. I'm not entirely sure. Then there's this thing, which is GitHub cheat sheet. Now this is specific to GitHub. What is the other one? Okay, the other one is just Git. This is specific to GitHub. So I'm not sure, though it mentions Git cheat sheets here. And because this is from GitHub, so yeah, maybe I'll look into this later on. Dude, Git had this very useful thing. I don't know where it is. It was like a it was a very it was a dude, it was great. I don't remember where it is. There was like an interactive demo. I think that's the best way to describe it. Give me a second. Um, let me let me try to open this on a different system. Git Git learning interactive. I don't know. Recommend me an interactive GitHub tutorial. No, an interactive Git tutorial. Dude, I think it was this thing, visual Git cheat sheet, but like the thing is just gone now. Git learning resources. Okay. Using GitHub, using Git. Using Git. Let's open that. About Git. All right, so GitHub has their own docs on this. Though I feel like they're going to be connecting it to GitHub a lot. They have their own docs on Git, but I feel like they're going to be connecting it to GitHub a lot. And I'm trying to set up a local Git server, not even a GitHub server, just a Git server. I'm pretty sure there's some software available out there. Wait, did I ask the question here? I didn't hit enter. Forgot about that. Okay, so let's see what Llama is saying. To set up your own local Git server for version control, you have several options, each with different levels of complexity and features. Minimal Git server via SSH. If you only need a basic Git repository without a web interface, you can set up a Git server using SSH. This involves creating a dedicated user account for Git, setting up SSH key authentication, and creating bare Git repositories. Here are the general steps. Um, Set up SSH key authentication with the Git user. No, for the Git user. Create bare Git repositories. Add the remote repository to your local Git configuration using commands like git remote add origin so and so, and push your project to the new repository. Okay. Self-hosted Git solutions and web interfaces. So there's something called Gitia. Gitia is a lightweight, easy to install Git service written in Go. It offers features such as so and so, so and so, so and so. It includes, okay. Then there's Gogs, which is similar to Gitia, as it is a project from which Gitia was forked. It has similar features, as described, but is described as having a fresher and younger feeling. Oh shit! Okay, there's an ad that's about to play right now, so I'm gonna hit the ad button. Where's the ad button? Yeah, I'll see you guys in 30 seconds. Man, I need to rush with pressing this fucking ad button, otherwise it becomes like unpredictable, and then I don't know when the ad is gonna start. Anyways, all right. Welcome back. So, what was I saying? What was I saying? I was saying something about oh, I think I was just reading this. It has similar features, but is described as having a fresher and younger feeling by some users. Git bucket. Git bucket is a Git web interface written in Scala. It features so and so, so and so, so and so. All right. GitLab. GitLab is a more comprehensive solution with enterprise level features, including so and so, so and so. Okay. It is larger and more complex to set up compared to the other two, and offers an enterprise edition with proprietary components and support. Git Savannah. Git Savannah is an older system that supports multiple version control systems, including Git, CVS, GNU Arch, Subversion, Mercurial. That's a name I haven't heard in ages. And Bazaar. Okay. It includes additional services like mailing lists, web hosting, file hosting, and bug tracking. This option is more suited for those who prefer a traditional setup, setting up on different environments. Okay. Um, all of these seem a bit complicated. Isn't there a really simple open source solution for setting up a simple Git server locally on Linux? Because, okay, Git by itself, actually, I wonder if, okay, so we have the reference manual here, right? Um, List of commands. Okay, okay, okay. Does it mention here how we could set up um, a simple? Wait, what did the thing say here? Okay, hold up. While the detailed guides can seem complex, there are indeed simpler ways to set up a local Git server on Linux, especially if you are looking for a more straightforward and user-friendly solution. Using Gitia, one of the simplest. And you know what? Let's look this up. Is this open source? Give me a second. Gitia enables the creation and management of repositories based on Git. It also makes code review incredibly easy and convenient. So and so, so and so, so and so. Okay. Oh, I've been calling it Gitia. I think it's meant to be Git T. Git with a cup of tea. Okay, okay, that's interesting. Git tea. I'm gonna call it Gitia. Git Git with a cup of tea. Painless, self-hosted, and all-in-one software development service. What is going on with my voice, dude? What is all of a sudden? Okay. Um, where was I? Yeah, development service, including Git hosting, code review, team collaboration, package registry, and CI. You know what? We can open the thing up here. Give me a second. Let me just okay. Git T. Okay, open that up, and all right. So this is Git T or Gitia. The goal of this project is to make the easiest, fastest, and most painless way of setting up a self-hosted Git service. As Git T is written, you know what? I think I'll just call it Git T. As Git T is written in Go, it works across all platforms and architectures that are supported by Go, including Linux, Mac OS, Windows on x64, no x86, um, AMD 64, ARM, and PowerPC architectures. This project has been forked from GOGS since November of 2016, but a lot has changed. For online demonstrations, so and so. Okay. For accessing free Git T service with a limited number of repositories, you can visit so and so to quickly deploy your own dedicated Git T instance on Git T Cloud. You can start a free trial here. Okay. Wait, what if I want to do this locally? See, because this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a simple solution, a simple Git solution. Actually, I just remembered I was gonna show you guys Unity and VS Code running on Linux. Like at this point, it's really simple for me because I would just need to. I even started up the. I even set up this thing. Well, I've it's a couple lines of code, just a couple lines of OpenCV code. It's basically the same code as if you wanted to get like a webcam feed. If you just wanted to get like a window that displays the webcam feed, it's pretty much just that code, except in the video capture method, I haven't specified a camera. I've specified the RTMP link, and it gets the RTMP feed from my Linux machine, which is running uh, the Nginx RTMP server. Um, I could start the thing up real quick, though. Okay, we're gonna look into this, and then I'm gonna show you guys that because I need to start up the Nginx server and then open up Unity and VS Code. Which fortunately, opening up both Unity and VS Code, it's a couple minutes at max. It's not gonna take time at all, if that at all. Like if even a couple, I don't even think it's going to take a couple minutes. It'll be like less than a minute to open up. But yeah, setting that up and showing it to you guys is it's not going to take time. And dude, I'm excited because this means not only can I stream Unity development stuff, Unity dev stuff, um, I can also finally start working on another game project, and I have some ideas. I kind of want to tie in. I kind of want to tie in neural networks into it, and that is one of the reasons why I want to kind of familiarize myself more um, with various types of neural network architectures, just so I can, like, initially I don't want to build something very complex. I definitely want to keep the scope small. I've made this mistake before. I'm definitely not planning on making that mistake again. I've made the mistake before. I've seen friends of mine make that mistake. It happens. It's basically the mistake that I'm talking about is feature creep. It's where you create you you create your game design document, right? But then you just keep adding more and more features to it because those features seem cool, and because of that, your project becomes a lot more complex, a lot more complicated than you initially intended for it to be, and then the load just becomes too much for you because you started adding a whole bunch of things without prototyping them and without seeing if it is possible to do or not. I've made this mistake in the past. And that project that I made that mistake with, actually, I've made this mistake with a couple of projects, but my own personal project that I made this mistake with, I never finished that project. That project is just forever going to be um, on hiatus, I guess, or it's forever going to be paused. I'm too stubborn to even say that I'm quitting that project. I mean, I think at certain points I did say that, yeah, you know what, we can just let that project go because I'm not going to be going back to that project at this point. As much as I would love to, I think I can just move on from that project. So yeah, I don't think it's entirely accurate to say that I'm too stubborn to even let it go because I think I have at some point let it go. But yeah, anyways, I've made this mistake. I don't want to make the mistake again. We're definitely going to start out small, and I'm kind of excited for this because not only is this gonna bring me back into game development and let me play around with Unity and play around with game development tools, but it's also gonna teach me a lot more and help me explore a lot more of deep learning stuff, a lot more of neural network stuff. So two things that I'm really interested in, game development and deep learning, I'm kind of going to bridge them together and make stuff with them. One of these days, I'm going to sit down and I think I want to do it on stream. I'll sit down and just come up with an idea. Before I do that though, before I do that, I want to at the very least learn three of the most basic neural network architectures, which are feed forward neural networks, convolutional neural networks, and recurrent neural networks. There's a lot more complex architectures that I want to learn as well, and I definitely intend on learning them, including the transformers architecture. I do plan on learning a lot of those architectures, but at the very least, just so I can kind of get the ball rolling in terms of game development, I would like to learn these three architectures and then apply that knowledge to build neural networks that can be used in in games. Once I have a better idea of how all these three architectures work, so far I only know about how how feed forward neural networks work, how feed forward neural network architecture works. I have a brief idea of how convolutional neural networks and recurrent neural networks work. I kind of have the, let's just say I've studied the theory of them, so I kind of have an idea of how they work, but I don't really know how to implement it practically. So I need to learn that. Um, but yeah, once I've learned these three basic architectures, then I definitely want to bring that into Unity. And once I've learned these three basic architectures, it's also gonna help me come up with ideas for games because, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, I really want to tie in neural networks into these games. So I can only do that if I understand the architecture and I understand how these networks are working. Okay, all right. Um, Back to this. So we have git t, right? It says you can set up a local server. All right. Okay. So there's the installation. Then we have the configuration. After running git t, you can access it through your web browser. Wait, you can access it through your web browser, meaning there's GUI involved, right? I'm assuming it means there's GUI involved. Let's take a look at the documentation. Wait, is this the document? Is this the main docs or? Um. All right. Let's just go to the website. Okay. Private, fast, reliable DevOps platform. Okay. Let's take a look at the pricing first. Open source. Enjoy Git for free under the MIT license open source. Self-hosted, rapid updates, active contributions, community supports. Okay. Um. All right. Okay. Let's take a look at the docs. Dude, no, hold on. Hold on. Let's go back here for a second. Minimal Git server. I kind of want to do this. Minimal Git server with via SSH. If you prefer a bare bones approach without a web interface, you can still set up a simple Git server using SSH. Here's a condensed version of the steps. Install Git and create a Git user. User add. Okay, so this is what I was wondering. Like, what exactly would creating a user entail in this situation? Like, are we creating a user on some kind of website or is it a local user? And in this case, it's a local user, which is great. Wait, back up. User add. Hold on. What does this command do? Uh, okay, man user add. Create a new user or update default new user information. User add is a low level utility for adding users. On Debian, administrators uh, should usually use add user instead. When invoked without the D option, the user add command creates a new user account using the values specified on the command line plus the default values from the system. Okay, can we list users? I'm curious about so you guys can't see this. I just remembered you can't see it. So I'm gonna step away from this soon. Okay, another thing I'm wondering is if I can do this without SSH because it's a local thing. So I don't know if I need SSH necessarily. Also, oh wait, no, SSH would be for the shell. I just realized that SSH would be because well SSH creates that shell, right? And if you're doing git via command line, you need somewhere to enter the commands into. And the SSH is for that, basically. Though I'm going to have to set up SSH communication here. Okay, so we first create a repository. We create a directory, home get storage. Okay. Wait, where's the user thing? The user thing is here. Okay. So we create a user, do that. Okay. Create an empty directory for storage. And then we change the owner of this to this. I'm going to have to look into what exactly that entails. Then we initialize a bare repository using just git and then git init. Okay. All right. Configure SSH access. Generate SSH keys on your local machine. Okay. Copy the public key to the server. All right. Okay. Then clone the repository. Backup. Generate SSH keys on your local machine. Copy the public key to the server. Okay. Then clone the repository. This method is straightforward but lacks the web interface and additional features provided by Git. Okay, let's go deeper into using Git or bare bones Git via SSH. Also, let me know if SSH is my only option for CLI, or is there a simpler method since this is a local network. Dude, I have no idea what's going on with my voice. Um, but it is what it is, I guess. All right. Let's see what it said. Okay. When setting up a local Git server, you have several options for managing repository access, including both barebones Git and SSH methods. Here's a detailed comparison and some simple methods suitable for a local network setup. Barebones Git via SSH. Using SSH is a common and secure way to set up a Git server. Here's how you can do it. Remote setup. SSH into the server where you want to host the repository. Create a bare. Okay, so the whole idea here is that you get a Git server up and running. You get a Git server up and running, and then you SSH into it and you start doing commands. Right? I think you would have to. Yeah, no, I think you can even initialize the repo, like create the repo through SSH. So SSH into the server where you want to host the repository, create a bare Git repository. So we make the directory, cd into it, and then git init. Configure SSH keys for secure authentication. Generate SSH. My God, dude. Hold on, give me a second. Okay. Configure SSH keys for secure authentication. Generate SSH keys on your local machine and add the public key to the server's authorized keys file. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into setting up SSH locally because I don't think I've done that in ages. And the last time I did it, I'm not entirely sure it was for a local thing. Either way, local setup. Add the remote repository to your local Git configuration. git remote add so and so. Okay, push. This method ensures secure and convenient access to your repository needing to enter without needing to enter credentials for every push or pull operation. Okay, all right. See, I'm kind of getting lost on the local Git configuration. So we set up we set up the server. Wait. So we set up the server, right? And then we don't do anything further from that point on the server directly, but instead we SSH into the server from the local machine that we are working on, and then we start creating stuff. So we create the directory, um, we initialize a repo inside that directory, and then back in our local machine, we I'm not entirely sure what's happening here. Git remote add origin user or git remote add origin. I guess I need to understand what you know what, we can look it up right now. I'm also gonna read through this whole thing just to see if there's some extra bits of information that I can pick up. Uh Here. So there's remote, which is here. Sharing and updating projects. Okay. Oh, there was this daemon thing mentioned as well. Somewhere it had been mentioned. I don't remember where. Let's take a look at that as well. A really simple why is this not being mentioned? A really simple server for Git repositories. A really simple TCP Git daemon that normally listens on port default so and so. Um, it waits for a connection asking for a service and will serve that service if it is enabled. It verifies that the directory has the magic file git export git daemon export okay, and it will refuse to export any git directory that doesn't explicit that hasn't dude, I need to zoom into this, that hasn't explicitly where was I, that hasn't explicitly been marked for export this way. Okay. Yes, you know what, okay, I'm gonna create a all right. So I'm learning Git, and I just found out about something called Git daemon. I'm looking to set up a simple local Git server to host my own projects on. I feel like Git daemon can be useful. Okay, setting up a Git daemon can be straightforward. Wait, give me a second. Actually, let me hydrate again. and then I'm gonna carry on reading. All right. Setting up a Git daemon can be a straightforward way to host your own Git repositories locally, especially if you need to share them within your network or make them publicly accessible. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you get started. Understanding Git daemon. The Git daemon is a lightweight server that serves Git repositories over the Git protocol. Oh, there's a Git protocol. That's interesting. It is designed for fast, unauthenticated access, making it suitable for public or read-only access within a network. It's designed for unauthenticated access, so that's why it's suitable for public access. I didn't get that part. I mean, it's more convenient access, sure, but okay. Anyways, setting up the Git daemon. Install Git. Okay. Verify the installation. Okay. Configure the Git daemon. To start the Git daemon, you need to run the following command. Um, reuse address. Okay. Okay. So reuse address allows the user to restart without waiting for old connections to time out, and base path specifies the directory where the repositories are located, allowing clients to clone projects without specifying the full path. All right, create the export file. Each repository you want to serve, um, for each repository you want to serve, you need to create a file named git daemon export OK in the repository directory. This file indicates that the repository is allowed to be exported via the Git daemon. Okay, all right. Okay, cool. Daemonize the process to ensure the Git daemon runs continuously. You can use a system service manager like systemd. Create a service file with the following content. I mean, I don't need to do that. I can, I kind of want to make it so I'm the one running the server, as in how do how do I say this? How do I phrase it? I kind of want to make it so I have to start up the server each time I want to use it. It seems silly. It seems like unnecessary additional work, but I kind of want to do it manually. I don't want the thing just constantly running at all times. Hello, hello, book buyer. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? We are currently looking into um, Git related stuff. I've been I've been looking into how to set up a local Git server, and we're just looking at the various options. We are exploring the various options. Currently, I'm trying to set up like the simplest Git server possible. Good. You? I'm okay. I'm okay. My voice is kind of tired, but I'm good. I'm happy to be streaming after 5 days of not streaming because I was kind of busy doing other stuff. Um, but yeah, yeah, I'm good. So we are yeah, we are currently looking into this. I was just saying that I I wanna I wanna I wanna make it so I have to start up the Git server each time. So I don't think I'm going to be doing this thing where we set up like a service and stuff like that. The firewall configuration might be required. If you're running a firewall, ensure that port so and so is open to the server. I had to do a similar thing for the RTMP server that I set up, because I was able to stream the the feed on Linux over RTMP to the RTMP server, right? But that was locally. I could even access that feed locally through VLC Media Player, but I wasn't able to access it from other computers on the network, which was weird because I should be able to do that, right? After messing around in a bunch of different places, I found out that it was because the specific port that RTMP communication happens over, on my Linux machine, that port wasn't open. So it wasn't really accepting connections on that port. And because of that, I wasn't able to access the feed. So once I opened up that port in the firewall, then I was able to access the feed through my Windows machine as well. Okay. Firewall configuration done. Then accessing repositories. Once the Git daemon is running, you can clone or fetch repositories using the Git protocol. Okay. Your server IP. Okay, okay. So the server is running, and then the server is just going to be accessible over the network. Wait, yeah, it says Git protocol. So wait, is so 9418 is the default port for the Git protocol. Does that mean, okay, let's open up a different thing here. I just learned about the Git protocol. I'm wondering, is the Git protocol um, supported? What am I trying to ask here? Yeah, let's just say supported by Windows. I'm pretty sure it's supported by Windows, but like we can just ask. I'm wondering, is the Git protocol supported by Windows? I'm pretty sure it's supported because there's a port dedicated to it. Right, but the reason I'm wondering this is because usually when you specify a protocol, it's so that communication can happen via that protocol. So if I'm specifying RTMP, for example, it's going to be using the RTMP protocol to do the communication, right? RTMP might be running on some other lower level protocol, but it's still the RTMP protocol, right? So it's going to be using the RTMP protocol to do the communication. So in this case, if I use Git, that means it's using the Git protocol to do the communication. I need to understand exactly what that entails. The Git protocol is indeed supported on Windows, but there are a few different ways to achieve this, each with its own considerations. Using Git for Windows. Using Git for Windows. You can install Git directly on Windows, which allows you to use Git from the command prompt or PowerShell. This installation is separate from any Linux environment and provides a native Windows experience. Using Windows subsystem for Linux. If you prefer to use a Linux environment, you can enable so and so. All right, fine. With WSL, you can install and run Git just as you would on a Linux system. This method allows you to access Windows files from the Linux environment, for example, through so and so. All right. Integration with Git Credential Manager. For enhanced credential. What is my voice, dude? Hold on. Give me a second. Let me hydrate again. Okay. So, for enhanced credential management, especially when working with multiple platforms, you can use the Git Credential Manager, which integrates with both Windows and WSL environments. You know what? Let me try asking Llama directly. What does it mean for an application to use the Git protocol? Is there some kind of communication happening? I'm pretty sure there's some kind of communication happening over this protocol, which is why like that's probably what's being used to um well, actually, okay, I was about to say that's probably what's being used to make the communication faster, make, pushing changes and pulling data faster. But I think there's a lot more to it than just that. I mean, that's definitely a big part of it. Um, I don't think there would have been, a separate Git protocol if if it didn't provide, a whole bunch. If there wasn't a good reason for it, I don't think that there would have been a Git protocol. What does it mean for an application? Why did I add a comma here? For an application to use the Git protocol, is there some kind of communication happening between the server and the client? Um, I mean, obviously there's communication happening, but I'm still going to ask the question. Is there some kind of communication happening between the server and the client? Also, does the Git protocol somehow make it faster to push and pull changes? Oh shit, dude! I just remembered. I was supposed to show you guys. You know what? Okay, we're gonna pause this for we're gonna pause this for a second. I just want to show you guys fucking Unity running on Linux and me streaming that uh to my Windows machine. So there's I think a 1 or 2 second lag between the between when I take a certain action on the Linux machine and when it shows up on the Windows machine. So like the feed, it has like a 1 or 2 second delay, 1 or 2 second latency, but that's not so bad because it's not going to interfere with what I'm doing. Because like I'm doing it, whatever I'm doing, I can see it on the screen like immediately. It just shows up for you guys 1 or 2 seconds later. So sometimes what I'm saying, the audio might sound off a little bit. But that's about it. That's not really a big problem. It's like a small 1 or 2 second delay, which honestly, with a dev stream, it's barely gonna be noticeable um, unless you're trying to sync up the keyboard sounds with whatever I'm typing. Uh, Aside from that, I don't think there's it's gonna be very noticeable. Now, that being said, uh, I'm gonna close the browser just so I can run the Nginx server real quick. Um, give me a second. So let's try to stop the thing that's currently going on. And, okay. All right. So I'm gonna start up the server. Great. Next, I need to open up OBS. All right. OBS is running. I actually realized I should have opened up Unity and VS Code first, not OBS. Fortunately, all of them open up really quick on Linux. And to be fair, so I was mentioning earlier that OBS on Linux is not very stable. So something worth noting here is that OBS has only crashed, like the few times that it has crashed, which it's not good that it crashes, but the few times that it has crashed, it has only crashed when I tried to maximize it again or basically click on it in the taskbar. Um, During its regular operation, it didn't crash. But just the fact that it crashed was, not not the best thing. Okay, which one of these should I open? I think I can open up the Centis one. And then in the Centis one I can like maybe create a I don't know, create a script or something and open that up. Which project is opening up here? Okay, this is a different project than what I intended. All right, give me a second. This thing is gonna, dude, it blew my mind seeing how quickly the projects open up, seeing how quickly Unity opens up, how quickly VS Code opens up, and the machine that I'm running all of this on, the hardware is older than the machine that I'm currently streaming from. That's what blows my mind. That's dude, that's just wild. Okay, so Unity has opened up. Um, Usually with Windows, I would be waiting for a minimum of 15 minutes. And now VS Code has opened up as well. Great, cool. So I'm going to capture both of these screens. VS Code goes in the top right for now. So we'll select that, click share, okay. And then Unity goes in the bottom left for now. So I think this is the one. Yeah, great, awesome. And now I can start streaming it. Cool. So this is okay. So this is running now. You guys still can't see anything. I'm gonna make some changes here. Give me a second. You guys still can't see anything because I haven't enabled this thing. Let me just run. Give me a second. Let me make sure the environment is actually you guys should be able to see it live. You know what? I don't need to be in BRB. You guys should see the thing pop up live right now. Once I've started running the thing. What was I doing? Yeah, yeah. So let's run this. Do I need to have the environment activated? I think it's activated already. I'm still gonna check. Anyways, I have VS Code open. I have VS Code open separately. You guys can't see it, but it's running in the background. I'm just going to start up the thing here. It's basically going to open up it's going to use OpenCV to create a window. And in that window, first of all, in the background, there's a video capture running. Give me a second. I'm doing a couple of things here while talking. Okay, yeah. So the environment is active, and now I just need to run this. Give it a second. It's the first run of the day with this specific kernel, so give it a couple of seconds. It's going to start up, and then it's going to load up this window. So yeah, it basically uses OpenCV to load up. Give me a second. Seems like something is glitched. No, it's not glitched. Okay. Uh, yeah. So it uses OpenCV to create a window, and then again uses OpenCV to do a video capture. But the video capture is trying to capture an RTMP feed from this RTMP server, and it basically reads it as if it would be reading a video. Now I'm just waiting for this to start running. Once it starts running, then we should be good. Then I can have the feed be displayed on. All right, we are still waiting. Give it a second. Oh, there it is. Yes, there's the feed. Great. Did it show up here? Yes, it showed up. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. So this is Unity on Linux. Um, so here I'm moving around in the scene. Um, I can I can create like a quick thing, just a quick example to show you guys how quick even script compilation and reloading the assemblies and all of that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create okay, we have a cube. I'll also create a plane. The plane will be the ground. The cube will be the object that is going to be sort of jumping. Okay, then I'm going to add a rigid body to it. Wait, there's an error here. What's this error? Must be something UI related. Whatever. So, rigid body is added. Great. And now we'll create, you know what? We'll create a new script, in fact, because again, I don't have to wait, which is great. So, some script 02, let that finish its compilation thing. I don't know if you guys can see the thing in the bottom right. It's pretty small. So the feed that's coming in from, I don't remember. I think I can increase the resolution of it, but the feed that's coming in, I believe it's 1366 by 768 or something, like, give or take like a few numbers. It's 1366 by 768. Um, Though I don't remember if I scaled it down to 600 by 400 for the sake of, testing stuff. If I did do that, I need to go back and check. But if I did do that, I can actually scale it back up. And dude, I'm super happy because I was able to overlay this onto my current setup, like, or not even overlay, like fit it in with my current setup. And my VTuber app has like the green screen thing going on, which is why I'm able to overlay the VTuber app on top of this feed, and it just looks like I'm streaming from this machine, or it looks like I'm doing the dev stuff on this machine. Of course, I'm saying it, I'm saying it outright that this is the dev stuff is happening on the Linux machine, but it's cool that I'm able to do this. Okay, so let's open this up in VS Code. Great, cool. Now here, is IntelliSense working? Yes, IntelliSense is working. Transform, yep, there it is. Great. So public rigid body, our body, then public float jump force equals, let's say, 50F. Then public float jump rate, that's going to be 1 second for now. Then public float jump, actually this doesn't have to be public. Float jump timestamp equals 0F. Great. In here, we'll do if time.time is greater than jump timestamp. Then we do our body dot add force. We're going to add an upwards force, which is vector2 dot up multiplied by jump force. And then we reset our jump timestamp to be time.time plus jump rate. I think that's it. Yeah. So now we save, we go back to Unity, and Unity is going to do the compilation and reloading the assemblies. And wait, is it reloading the assembly? I don't think it's reloading the assembly. Maybe I shouldn't say reloading assembly because it says reloading domain. I need to look into exactly what that entails. But yeah, okay, reloading domain done in a couple of seconds, unlike on Windows where I would have to wait for at least a couple minutes before the shit finishes loading. And now we should just be able to run this. I need to attach the script to something. Let's attach the script to the cube, and we also need to assign the rigid body field. Assign that, and we are entering play mode. Oh, wait, the camera cannot see it. Let's bring the camera here. Oh, you know what? No, wait, hold up. So this is going to switch to the game view. Then we can switch back to scene view. All right, so the cube is jumping, but it's the force is very low. So we're going to increase this to 250. There it is. Look at how quick that was, dude. This is why I'm so excited to start working on projects in Unity again. Start working on game dev projects in Unity again. Because this speed, believe it or not, the last time I got this kind of speed, and by the way, I'm running Unity 6 here, or Unity 6000, whatever they want to call it. Unity 6. I'm running Unity 6 here, and this is fairly old hardware. I mean, at least a decade old hardware, I think. Last time I checked, I think it's a wait, I have the thing here. So, well, okay. Would decade be accurate, or 8 years be accurate? How old is this CPU? Let me give me a second. Let me look this up. Core i5. So yeah, this machine is running a Core i5 processor. Core i5 3570 release date. So it says this was released in 2012. So this is 12 years old currently. This specific. sorry, this specific processor is around 12 years old. So yeah, I wasn't wrong to say a decade. This this machine is, it's got old hardware. It's got DDR, I don't know if it's DDR2 or DDR3, but it's 12 GB of RAM. Maybe it's DDR3 hardware, DDR3 RAM, but yeah, it's 12 GB of RAM. So there's a fair bit of RAM that I can play around with. At the very least, it's not going to fill up very quickly. I have another machine that only has about 6 GB of RAM, and just opening the Unity editor and VS Code is enough to like get get the RAM all the way to like, I don't know, 85, 90%. So if I try to work on a project in that, then I think I'm going to have some issues. Fortunately, I have this machine where things are so much faster. Dude, I need to start doing more complex things in this, how just to see how far it remains smooth, because so far it's remained pretty damn smooth in terms of running. Um, to be fair, I've only done simple stuff with it. I haven't done more complex things. One of the complex things that I'm planning on doing is uh, using the job system. I'm currently also learning about the job system, the Unity job system. Dude, the Unity job system is one of those things that I've been learning on and off for a couple of years, believe it or not. It's one of those things where every now and then I'll get the interest to sort of go into it, and then I'll read up a little bit on it, and then I'll just get distracted with something else and start doing something else instead. But this time I fully intend on, going through with it. Hopefully, I'll also be able to use the job system in the game that I plan on working on. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to try and force it if it's not required, but like maybe it might be required. I'll see. Because I mean, I'm planning on using Centis, right, for the neural network stuff. And Centis, fortunately, the Onyx runtime that has been implemented in Centis is capable of using both the CPU and the GPU. So I'm guessing I'm gonna have a lot more options than just running on the CPU. But yeah, dude, I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to run Unity on Linux and stream that and have like a smooth editor, not you know laggy as hell. Uh, just to put it out there, I'm using the built-in render pipeline here. Um, the I think I'd mentioned it on stream before that what was it? Scriptable render pipeline. So SRP stuff, URP, HDRP, and whatever other scriptable render pipelines are there. URP specifically, it wasn't running well on Linux for me. I thought it might be my hardware issue, but it turns out it was the graphics API being used. Because right now, I'm not sure if you guys can tell because like the text is small, but right now, Unity is using OpenGL on Linux. Like this Unity editor that I'm running right now, it's using OpenGL. Fortunately, Unity does allow you to provide like command line arguments, and one of the arguments allows you to force it to use Vulkan. And I'm sure there's other flags as well for other APIs, but in this case, forcing it to use Vulkan, it made it so I was able to use URP. Previously, the issue that I would have was URP would be the scene view in URP would be, it would have a lot of artifacting, a lot of noise. It was basically unusable for me. It was it was just not working out well. And then I did some research, and turns out other people had the issue as well. And then somebody in the replies suggested forcing it to use Vulkan. There's actually a flag that says force Vulkan, and then it's going to make the editor use Vulkan instead. And using Vulkan worked. Um, it's a different story that I still can't use URP, and that's definitely because of my hardware, because my hardware is kind of limited in what I'm able to do. It's not that it cannot do it, it's just that it cannot do it fast enough because it's so old. So if I try to do URP stuff, then it's going to be a little laggy. Uh, it's still okay, but it's not the best speed compared to built-in render pipeline. So I kind of want to stick with built-in render pipeline for now, um, especially because the stuff that I plan on doing, the game dev stuff that I plan on doing, it's not meant to have like very flashy graphics. I would love to have VFX graph in built-in render pipeline, but VFX graph not being there is not really a deal breaker, because there's a bunch of other core game functionality that I'm going to be busy implementing. My voice is really getting fucked, dude. Like, as much as I'm trying to keep hydrating, it's just not okay. Anyways, so yeah, I plan on focusing on like the core game functionality. I'm not really planning on going very heavy with the graphics. I do want to make the game look good, but like I'm gonna make it look good in other ways without having to use URP. Um, it should be fun. Dude, there's so many ideas. There's so many things that you can do even without flashy graphics. Like I want to try doing hand drawn graphics. I kind of like those kinds of graphics. I've seen a bunch of very cutesy kind of games being made with those kinds of graphics, and I want to try something like that. I don't have a pen tablet, but something that I can do is draw it on paper and then scan that and then kind of like digitize that basically. So I could try creating UI elements in that way, or whatever art related stuff I'm trying to create. I could try creating it in that way. I'll see. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that I can go about it. I'm not limited to just one method. But I'm excited, dude. I'm excited to start working. I'm excited to work on stuff in Unity without having to deal with lag. To how long this lasts, how long the lag free experience lasts, we'll find out eventually. As my project gets more and more complex, we'll find out how 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 well Unity on Linux is able to handle stuff. For the time being, I'm also going to have to constantly remember to save the scene because, well, I mean, I don't know if Unity might just randomly crash. Unity on Linux specifically has matured quite a bit since the early days. So I'm not expecting it to just crash out of nowhere, but it's good to save. It's good to keep saving just in case. I should also look into if they ever introduced an autosave option at some point. I don't know if they did. I need to look into it because I think I remember seeing something about autosave or like um something to do with recovery or something. I'm not sure. I'll look into that. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this because I'm excited about this, and hopefully we're going to be doing. Hopefully we're going to be bringing back Unity dev streams. I'm definitely excited about that. I need to do more. I need to carry on my research um, on the basic three neural network architectures, which is feed forward neural networks, convolutional neural networks, and recurrent neural networks. And once I have that basic knowledge, then I can decide how I'm gonna fit how I'm gonna fit that into a game. But that being said, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. I don't think I'm gonna raid anyone right now because I'm just gonna relax. I'm probably gonna fall asleep after this because I'm basically at the end of my day right now. But yeah, dude, I'm glad that I got a chance to stream and I took it. Maybe I might stream again in like 12 hours, 12, 14 hours. I'll see. I'm not sure because there's some stuff that I have to do. Fortunately, I'm done with, the changes that I wanted to make, the updates that I wanted to make to the VTuber app. We have our wait, give me a second. Where is it? Here. So we have our extra settings that I wanted to work on. I implemented the extra events to be able to control these settings um, from the virtual Stream Deck app. I've also implemented a data storage system where I can store um, that stores the JSON files or the JSON data, and that JSON data is stored in files which can then be edited whenever I need to. I can just change any of the settings and then restart this application, and it's going to read those new settings. So yeah, yeah, dude, I'm excited about all of the stuff that all of the stuff that's going on, all of the stuff that's to come. I'm excited. So we're gonna be doing, in addition to data science and deep learning streams, deep learning study streams, we are also hopefully soon gonna start doing Unity dev streams. For the time being, I mean, if it's not game dev streams, it's gonna be me learning some package in Unity, like learning the Unity job system, or learning the Unity animation rigging package, or Spline was another one that I wanted to. Spline. No, spleen is a body part. Spline. Spline is another package that I wanted to explore because I never got a chance to explore it. But yeah, yeah, I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. We may not start the Unity game dev streams for a little bit until I've learned those three basic architectures, those three basic neural network architectures that I was talking about. Um, we won't start it until then, but we are definitely going to be doing Unity dev streams where I'm exploring various things that I want to learn, like for example the job system and the animation rigging package, and hopefully with the animation rigging package, I'm going to be able to introduce some extra elements into my VTuber avatar. But okay, that's going to be it for today's stream. Let me go into OBS. Okay. You know what? Hold on. Give me a second. We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna close this. Hold on just a second. We're gonna end this stream. Oh, actually, oh, that's gonna be stuck. Never mind. I'm not gonna touch that. I ended the stream. Uh I well, I didn't end the stream. I ended the stream on Linux, which was streaming to the server, and then I had my this Python script trying to pick up the feed, and because I ended the stream, so the feed kind of got stuck. Um, which is fine. I can crash the thing later on. Oh no, it's not fine. I forgot to transition. I have no idea what just showed up on stream. I hope. Oh God. Okay. Uh, give me a second. Let me just restore the other browser and then restore the other browser. All right. Cool. Great. Awesome. Oh, yeah. All right. Cool. Right. Yeah, I just remembered. I wasn't planning on raiding anyone. Okay. So, That's gonna be it for today's stream. Book buyer, thank you very much for stopping by and chatting. Anyone else who might have been lurking in the chat, thanks for hanging out. I'm hopefully gonna be streaming again in maybe 12 to 14 hours. I have a bunch of stuff to get done. I want to release the virtual Stream Deck app. I've prepared the repo for it and all of that stuff. I also need to prepare the README file. What else? What else? Yeah, I need to write down the release log notes as well, the release log stuff for the main VTuber app, just so I can keep track of what's changed and what's been added and removed and stuff like that. So yeah, dude, I'm gonna be busy, but we've made our changes that we wanted to make to the VTuber app, which is amazing. Now I'm gonna be able to change these settings whenever I need to, and I can also have them persist by manually editing the file. Dude, I'm gonna stop. I keep going off on tangents. Okay, so uh, that's gonna be it for that's gonna be it for now, not for today's stream. But yeah, no, that's gonna be it for today's stream. Um, the next stream, I don't know when it's gonna be. Maybe 14 hours. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. But yeah, I hope you guys have a nice